like I said, I was just playing, devil's advocate in this and not trying to look for a reaction from this person. Although I've interacted with not this exact individual, but I have, in fact, interacted with people in this feed that have also replied to this, and so I'm guessing that I will get a response to this. But anyways, that'll be fine. We'll be able to deal with it when that comes and when that happens. And if it's something that needs to be come into others being aware of it, then I will make a video on that. And yeah. Rather do this because why wouldn't I be the voice of truth and the voice of playing that devil's advocate of should you use nicotine in either form, and what ways does nicotine consumption benefit your state of well-being? And benefit one's state of well-being could be something that someone sees as validating those desires and doing that action regardless of what the outcome may be. This music is a different vibe for sure than I've played in my other videos. That's a good thing. Okay, let me just reply to this. Alright, this is the one we're going to go to work on. Seems there's something we need to clear up. You can pause that and check out what I'm about to respond to, otherwise I'll hold that there for a second longer. I'm going to look up what's the exact definition of this word vanity. Okay, pride in one's own appearance or achievements, and that, when it comes to that, they're almost taking it up as a memorandum of themselves, and they pride themselves on how they look. So they almost seem as if they're doing it for reasons of how they appear and how they seem to be or see themselves as achieving things when they're using the substance. Like they said they don't even want to quit vaping, just to be honest, because it's an incredibly embarrassing habit to them, and their vanity is more powerful than their addiction. and amen with praying hands, which is interesting. My response to that, right here, just type this up. My response was, you can quit nicotine and still be embarrassed. You have to be honest with yourself about it. If you've had enough of subjecting yourself to the substance and allowing it to affect you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Yeah, that's about it. That's about all I need to say in regards to that. I'm going to go for another 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And those of you that already know why I did a part 1 and part 2, I will include this on a part 1 and part 2, because if I do go ahead and put the videos together, it'll change the quality and it just won't upload right. So it is worth doing part 1 and a part 2. It is because I had an interruption and the video had cut off, but getting into this for another few more responses. What? Oh, it was good. I'll keep it going. It's good music. It's good music for sure. Alright, moving on. This is about the whole thing of some singer, or really artist, Doja Cat, and she said, I just quit nicotine, yet there's still, people are in awe that, oh, you still see her with the device or whatnot, or continuing using. And that's for no one to be judging her. And by the way, newsflash, everyone's responsible for their own actions. Everyone's responsible for themselves. So even if she were to say that, then maybe there's something else that mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually she needed to, or needs to continue on doing that. But we're not going to sit here and degrade her and say, oh, she's worse of a person and whatnot. But she has the opportunity to be a example and a role model for large mass amount of people. And to be honest, she can do whatever she wants. That's not her responsibility. It's not our responsibility to police other people and to see what actions they have and if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's all for one to know their own perspective. I'm not going to respond to that. I just wanted to add my kind of perspective on that. It's just seen for what it is. You can sit here and say whatever you want, call it what it is, but just see it for what it is. We're not here defending it. We're not here saying that it's the right thing, that it's the wrong thing to do, but people are subject to their own actions and whatnot, responsible for their own actions. So chill there. Just trying to find another post to respond to. I found all the good ones earlier that we already responded to, but anyways, here we go. Someone said too many kids are throwing away their lives for a bit of dopamine, and just because of nicotine use, because of how popular it's became and whatnot. And I'll tell you guys right now, I've seen people just around that age, teenage or whatever years, you could say high school, middle school. Anyways, if you are around those ages, realize that without that, you are protected mentally, you're protected spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Without that, you don't need that substance to continue living on. In fact, you never needed it before. So the fact that it seems as if you need to continue on doing this for whatever reason, whatever that reason may be, is only an illusion. And I have seen this behavior of someone hitting their device around that age that seem to be experiencing those, let's say, deprived emotionally, deprived mentally, deprived physically, not even being present, and feeling as if they're lost spiritually and looking towards me as if I need to tell them something. And of course I can be that bigger spirit and say, and the wiser one to say, yes, you're right on this path that you are on. It is not right for you. But to see that one is spiritually lost and looking towards another for that, of course we can all help each other out and therefore set each other on the right path. But just to see that one is in that space goes to show that yes, this person is correct. It has become very popular with a lot of people and whatnot, but they're going to be able to get through that. I know that you can get through it. I mean, I've done it myself. I'm almost at 1 year and 2 months without nicotine, which I will be making that check-in in about, I'd say 2 or 3 days, because that's coming up. That milestone is coming up. But regardless of that, I can sit here and I can go 5 more years, and that'll be 5 more years and 4 months, which would be a total of 6.5 years, which would outweigh the amount of time that I was smoking nicotine, that I was ingesting nicotine. And I could go that long without using, and I can find myself then 5 years from now in a space, 5 years, 4 months from now, in a space where I am okay with going ahead and using nicotine mentally. I made the decision. I will think and I will see, how can I come up with a plan for this to not be a detriment to my mental state of being, and for this to not have me mentally dependent on this substance. And what ways am I going to go about it this time mentally? And of course, in the whole time, I'm developing the strength to be able to do so. And even now, I see as if I have the strength to do so. And I'm going to say, you know what? Physically, how am I going to limit myself to where I'm not overly using this substance, and that I'm not becoming in a physical cycle of continuously using